tonight on LFG.
All the damn work I put in with you.
LuFisto.
What can you do with this person who's new so they look good, you look good, and everybody's safe?
Might as well put him in a black leather jacket and a black hat.
Jeff Lippman.
It looked like she was too slow for school, but she came out playing the hot mean girl.
That looked really good. Wow.
Boil them, fry them, put them in a stew. Boil them, fry them, put them in a stew. Boil them, fry them, put them in a stew. Potato. Oh, we're back. It's LFG episode 8. Who's the top man? Who's the top woman on each team? And here's the nice thing. We left the last episode on a cliffhanger, and we actually know what happened the following episode. How wonderful is that, my dear Jeff?
It is great, my dear LuFisto. Look at this. This is great. We're now calling each other our dears. This is fantastic. So, hear that, world? We're friends. Ha ha.
Yes.
Right. So, are the Callaways mad at Bubba Ray? It seems not so much. Is Bubba Ray or Bully Ray still a little bit miffed? A little bit, but seemingly more in private?
Yeah, but I would say the Callaways, especially Michelle, is like, because she says it's clearly, it's like, wow, that's laughable. He refuses to see anyone else. And my God, she is so right. I'm like, Michelle, right on it. It's like, he keeps saying Zena's the one to beat, and we've said it before, lots of potential, but there's definitely things that she needs to work on.
I could also make a case for Zena resting on her laurels, which I don't want to do. Here's the problem. Who is Zena supposed to get better with? And that's the issue with Zena right now. She's too damn good. I gotta get her through it. Live up to your potential. How are you getting to the finals? How do you prove them all wrong?
She has the fire, but she can't hit. And I don't know, he keeps being mad about it. He doesn't want to hear it, but like, I think Michelle also mentions, like, yeah, that's his multi-cat, but he needs to, look at her in a different way. There's still things to work on. And he's going to at least admit that it seems that Zena is resting on her laurels because she's too damn good.
Yeah. In the beginning, it seems that Bubba is sticking to his guns. But over the course of this hour, there does seem to be an evolution. There does seem to be a character arc. And as true to wrestling, it's not a complete character arc. It's a bit reluctant. Sometimes there's setbacks in it, but there is some change in Bubba. But Bubba definitely has a very different approach than the other coaches, and that's something we can chat about obviously during the course of the show. I'm not sure, and I want your first of all, opinion one, is this all staged and phony drama? Opinion number two, had Booker more vocally agreed with him, do you think this would have been more of a thing?
I don't think Bubba is playing a role. I think that's the way he is. He's more old school. The old school way was to push people to see how far they can go. Even like I would see to belittle them so they prove you wrong. That's the way it was. And I think that's the way he works. I'm from that school. So is it working? Yes. But can all the people deal with whatever comes with this way of training? Absolutely not. You see him talk to Zena, and she's almost like, I felt she was like close to crying, or like her face was all red, and she even looked down, and he's like, don't look down. It's a sign of weakness. Live up to your potential. And she's gonna say something like, yeah, I'm gonna step up my game. But you clearly see she's uncomfortable. And it's something I've seen several times. And the sad part about this is that a lot of people can't take this pressure, and great wrestlers quit because they could not take the pressure of having a coach on their back nonstop like this and keep telling them that they need they need to be better, or just push it to a point where it's almost like you can't breathe. Like it's push, 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 push. But like I said, I've seen several people, including very good wrestlers, just quit because they could not take it anymore. So it works and it doesn't.
Yeah, Bubba Ray really seems to have sort of the military view of break you down and build you up. Though I'm not sure I think, like I said, I think Zena sort of, put a little spell on him early on, and he's been trying to snap out. I mean, he's definitely old school, but I think they're all old. I mean, maybe Michelle isn't, I don't know, but I mean, Undertaker's the oldest, and even the old school people like, I mean, I've seen Undertaker when he was Big Red and the Master of Pain, and of course, Mean Mark Callis and Mark Calloway, and all of that stuff. So I've seen him since he was young, and I was too. But he's considered the king of old school by old school people, like people who are older than him or have since passed away. I mean, Harley Race thought the Undertaker was old school. Terry Funk thought he was old school, maybe too old school. Anyway, this was definitely interesting, though it wasn't as, I don't know, it wasn't as intriguing as I had hoped. It wasn't as pressure-packed or intense as I had hoped. We go pretty much straight to Michelle McCool saying that Panina is the best, and then, it's not Zena. Panina is the best, which the judges seem to agree. You seem to agree. I mean, I'm not far from there. I'm just not sure she's the best. It's like, it sounds like I'm down on Panina. I'm not. I just don't see that huge a gap between her and, at least three of the others.
Yeah, I would say Dani. I would say probably Dani's. She's probably the best, but she's so small. I feel they don't see her. But every time she's in that ring, she's intense. Everything she does is clean. She has a good fire as a baby face, and we saw her as a heel, even with a mask. She did a great job too. And I feel like Panina, like, she has the size, she's impressive, her promos are great. But Dani's right up there with her, and I don't feel they see her. And now that we're talking about top men, top women, like right now, like, let's talk about the teams. Like Booker T, he picks
actually, before
Harlem.
we do that, I want to mention a couple of things that we learned, because some of it is
True.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, one, we learned Sirena was cleared to compete, which is no surprise because she's in the match day, but she indicates that she was choked unconscious. We also learned that Elijah is injured, but no further information. So I'm assuming that happened during regular training and not in something that happened on camera. But now that we know that Sirena was choked unconscious, do you have any further insight as to whose fault it is? And do you have any idea what's going on with Elijah? Did you see anything? Or, is this just another, it's going to be like the Tatiana, vortex. By the way, we got no update on Tatiana on this show, but somehow she's made it to the Grapefruit League. Or is this going to be like another vortex of, black hole information that we don't find out anything?
First of all, Sirena, if she said she was choked unconscious, what I think is, instead of putting her hand on her chest, probably Bailey put her hand on her neck. Yeah. And maybe that's why there was too much pressure. And that's how she choked and kind of blacked out. She didn't have enough hair. So she just, blacked out and fell.
Too much neck, not enough trapezius.
Exactly. So that's how I see it. As for Elijah, it goes back to what we were saying. They're not showing what's interesting. I would like to know, okay, he's injured. What is he doing now to recover? What's the injury? Does he have to go to physiotherapy? Is it something more? Is he in a cast? We know nothing, but that would be great to see how a wrestler in training deals with an injury. Yeah, we see none of that. That's interesting.
A rookie, a young, basically a greenhorn who's, let's face it, from the Holyfield family. I mean, obviously he's a hard worker, but he's never, he's grown up rich and certain privileges come with that. Let's see how this setback, how can he cut a promo? Can he not go, oh, woe was me? Or is he like, I'm going to be back. You'll see. I'm going to train through this. I'm going to be better than ever. I mean, I don't need to hear anything in original. I just want to know, as Booker T says, I can tell a lot by his body language, and I can tell a lot by what the person says, even if they're prompted to do it. Like, what comes out of their mouth? Is it, this was my chance. I feel like it's slipping away. Or is this like, this is just a setback and I'm going to overcome.
Yeah, and we know nothing, and that would be great to know what's going on with that. And
you know what we did learn? BJ Ray is prepared to take the weight for Team Bubba and carry it forward because he still thinks that he's the star.
Oh, and we'll talk about this match. My God. Yeah. So Bubba, you know, when it comes to the man, with no Elijah, you know, his choice is BJ and, of course, Zena.
Sure.
No mention of Ace, who did such a great job as a heel. She dyed her hair pink, and I'm like, we saw Zena last week, and I know it's top woman, and he believes she's the top and everything. But I was like, Ace, she did so good as a heel. I was like, and, you know, Booker picked Harlem and Sirena. You know, Sirena, of course, has been a standout for me, especially as a heel. Harlem looks good, especially since he changes gears stuff. Very intense. Michelle goes with, of course, P Nasty and Anthony Luke. And Taker, Shiloh, and Bailey. And that's where I'm like, Shiloh, yes, but Bailey, there's something missing. She's good at what she does. She's impressive. She's different. But you have Dani Sakowski, who's like doing a great, awesome job every single time. And you don't pick her. I was like, dude, like, you're not watching the same thing, or maybe we don't have the same criteria as why, you know. For me, a top woman, top man is someone that can control a match, works the pace right, and has a character, knows what to do, you know, talks, argues, whatever with the fan, and does those little somethings in between the moves that are so important that makes the match. You could do 1,000 moves, but if you're looking at the mat and there's no sound coming out and there's no selling, there's no screaming, I honestly do not care. And I was like, I thought it was a big let down for Dani.
Yeah, I was also surprised. I mean, I see what everyone else sees in Bailey. She's completely unique, and she's a physical genetic freak in the good way, not in like, ooh, what a freak, you know, like circus. This is this is like the Scott Steiner way, you know. I mean, I've never seen anybody that looks like that, with that build, the muscles, the striations, the cut, you know, in the form of a female body. I mean, it's you know, without looking like they've been like doing like bodybuilding like crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. But Dani has been the best. Maybe she's not the most unique. I mean, you know, they have others similar, but that's not what it was supposed to be. So listen, I was a little bit surprised. Dani was pissed, and I don't blame her. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe that was part of the Undertaker's, you know, thought process. I can't get into his head. I'm not mad that there were any with Panina versus Bailey. I mean, that is a matchup I would like to see. That's mm-hmm. You know, that's pretty cool. But it was a little bit of surprise, and you know, I keep saying this, but I think some of these folks know they're getting at least onto Evolve and NXT. Whether they make it to the main roster or not, I don't know. But I think a lot of them already know this, and like people like Hayes and Summer and Trill and you know, they'll be on season 3 of LFG, which by the way, its ratings went up. Last time I checked, like 3 weeks ago, it was 110. This week it was like 174,000. So
wow, okay, so yeah, there's a big jump.
Yeah, that was like its premiere was somewhere around there, like season premiere. You know, I think maybe the season 2 premiere was 170, so it's actually higher. Which mm-hmm. you know, that's what successful television shows do. Or when there's more interest, maybe it was because of AAA. You know, maybe it's the TNA thing. I don't know. Probably it's mostly because of you and me. I would say.
I will tell myself that. So the first match, it starts with the ladies, which is Zena Sterling versus Serena Linton. And again, Serena was a nice. I said,
I'm not married to her.
Linton.
She's not my daughter.
Linton. Sorry, it's the French accent.
Oh, okay.
Je m'excuse. So again,
I'd be proud of her if she was my daughter.
Yeah, definitely. Why not? And she did a great promo just before the match. She stays in her character. Love it.
She said if you don't think that I'm spicy enough, you can choke on it using the punch or injury. That was great.
That was a nice quote. That would be great on a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not spicy, no, choke on it. Yeah, I love what she said. The match itself, like they had a good lockup and work. And Sirena, what I really loved about this beginning of the match, she was trying to get out. She was screaming. She was pushing. She was selling. She did everything. You know, that made sense. When you're stuck into a position and you want to get out of it, you try, you know, you push, you move, you do something. She did all that. And Zena, she was smiling and in control. I thought her wrestling game was really on point, really nice. The thing though, that where it started to be a little bit for me was like when Sirena was in the corner, she did some lazy knee in that corner and then a lazy whip. I was like, no, like when you whip, just make sure you hold the hand tight, you push chest to chest so it creates some sort of pressure on your opponent and then you pull them. So, because honestly, what looks faker than a damn Irish whip? But there's a way to make it look good. You push your opponent, you lean against them, and you bring them into the middle of the ring. That's where you push, so it looks more like a hit and bounce than someone running by themselves. So that's where it's like, you know, Zena again, I love that she was removing her hair from the face. She kept like flipping her hair back. I was like, and the way she was like wrenching the arm, twisting the arm very hard, that looked good. But her hits, she has a bad clothesline. There's something when she hits that it has no impact, and she keeps bending her body forwards instead of, you know, keeping her back straight. The heat was dirty. Sirena was using the hair. She's a very good heel. What I really like about Bubba, what he mentioned there, is that the kickouts are usually, there's always that problem where people don't use their legs to kick out. They just like move, like lift one arm, but technically a good kick out, use the leg, or at least, you know, twist your body completely so you're completely on the side. So your back, no part of your back is on the mat. And I love that he mentioned again, why was Zena still selling her shoulder? And why was she selling her throat? I was like, she did not get like, I don't know, like cane chop right in the throat or something, but she kept like selling, and she does that every single time. Bubba says that he told her not to do it.
Well, you know who said it a few weeks ago? Me. I point out the elbow, but it's
did.
always her left arm. It's always her left arm. And she started with the left arm, and then she moved to the shoulder, which also had no reason. But listen, if doing a left arm clothesline always hurts you, stop doing a left arm clothesline. It just makes you look stupid. I mean, there's so much going on in this whole thing. First of all, the entire show, all of these matches, and I'm not sure if they were told to ignore this or what the deal was, but I did not feel like I knew who the face and the heel was from entrance. And you should, I believe that you should know this from the entrance at this point in time in your wrestling training, especially the people on season 2. Am I right about that?
No, you're right. I feel like they want all the contestants to be liked. I don't know if it's for social media number or more people watching. I don't know what's the thinking behind that. But yeah, they're all like, they go out, they do their thing, and nothing really stands out as, you know, being like super heel. I mean, in this match, Sirena was clearly the heel, using the hair, jaw-jacking a little bit. But it happens often that you're like, they're not pushing it when it comes to babyface work and heel work. And it's really bland. And that's where I always say, like, Performance Center is a good thing and it's a bad thing at the same time, because everybody is so on the same, like, built same cookie sheet kind of. So they will have to find a way to stand out or work on that. I don't know if it's something the coaches are asking them to work on their own. And just to be like technically sound in the ring and not fuck up because it's TV, whatever. But yeah, it's a problem, definitely.
Well, a couple other things. I mean, basically the story here was can Zena up her game, but because that's mostly what we saw, whether she could or she couldn't, which I would say the first half of the match, it looked like she did. The judges were impressed. The crowd was chanting for Zena.
Yeah.
The judges were impressed by that. It seemed to be organic. And then the second half of the match where she sort of started getting a little lazy again, or maybe not lazy, maybe is just not as good as everyone thinks that she is. Bubba thinks that she is. I don't know, but this match did not do much to showcase Sirena. It's like she almost didn't have a chance. I mean, and part of it's her own doing. I mean, she should have come out as a heel, and so, turning into one during the course of the match. But the way the match seemed to be agented, produced, whatever, it really was a showcase for Zena and didn't have much opportunity for Sirena. And we can't blame it on the contestants necessarily, because last week was the week where they booked their own matches, not this week. So somebody effed up for Sirena, which again,
Or did they? We don't know that.
right, is a little scripted. But at some point, Sirena rakes the eye, so we knew that she was a heel. The tilt-the-world slam by Zena was pretty good, and it was okay win, but that's not really her finisher, so I'm not really sure what was going on there. But the backstory here was really Bubba beforehand telling Zena she's got to up her game, and then him musing, him doing his confessional to the camera, like, she's so good, everyone's missing it. There, it is a conspiracy, it is collusion. Or is she resting on her laurels? Did she get too much too soon? Which is exactly what we've said. And it's almost like he accepts that. He's like, I have to be tougher. So he gives her tough love. Don't look away from my eyes.
Like, obviously he was very upset with me today and how I've been performing.
I need you to step up your game. I need you to do better. I need you to be what you know you can be, and that wrestling fans who want to support you know, you look at my eyes. Don't look away. Looking away is a sign of weakness.
I absolutely feel pressure, yes.
They gave her tough love after the match as well. I guess we'll see if that makes an impact going forward. But we were ahead on this curve. I mean, I don't know who we were ahead on the curve of, because I don't think there's anyone else covering on podcasts. So, I guess I'll take whatever win we can get. But one of the things that Bubba said that was interesting, he said, and it was sort of an excuse built in. He's like, who does she get to work with to get better? And I thought that was shitty, because as good as Zena is, or interesting as she is, she's not better than Pina. She's not necessarily better than Dani. She's not necessarily better than a lot of the people. She has an interesting little thing going on, which obviously is marketable. But to throw that in there, like, I've heard actual wrestlers say, I was always working with the same people and doing the same match, and they never got better. But this is a wrestling school. It's not like Zena is like Charlotte Flair and everyone else is straight out of the NIL program. I mean, I thought that was a shitty thing for him to say.
Yeah, and I mean, in the end, it's not helping her, because if you keep telling someone they're good and you're completely blinded with what they do, you don't see the little details she needs to work on. She's not going to get better, and yeah, she's going to stay exactly where she is, because to you, she's perfect, and she's not. She's not. Her hits are shit. And it's always, she starts real strong, and then after, I don't know if she gets tired. I don't know if she's too focused on doing what she has to do, which is absolutely normal when you've been in this business for, a cup of tea. You have so many things to think about that sometimes it's just too much. So is that something that they do? Like, why are they not like working heel face? Is it because they're just focusing on, okay, today I have to be the top woman, so my shit has to look good, and they don't think about characters and stuff? Maybe because they're so new, it's normal that they do thing one at a time, and eventually they're going to add and be complete. But God, he's not helping her. She needs to be trained by a woman who's going to tell her, work on this, look at the camera, Your tilt-a-whirl looked nice, but it had no intensity. You did not scream. You did not do anything to make it look like a finish or a big move. It's just like, boom. Like, no.
I'm not even sure that she needs a woman necessarily, though. I don't dismiss that. But she needs someone who's theatrical, because basically, I mean, it occurred to me yesterday that her character is basically Alice in Wonderland, but she can fight. You know, she's sort of confused to curiouser and curiouser, but it's a little bit of playing possum. Like there's, you know, she's sort of like Dorothy in Oz. Like there's more to her than meets the eye. So she needs like a Dalton Castle or someone that's theatrical, Aaron Stevens, someone who's had a theater background that can sort of work that into wrestling. I don't know much of Bubba's backstory, but I don't think it involves that. I think he was a bouncer in a bar and basically got into wrestling very early. Obviously, he's been in wrestling since the 90s and he's in his 50s now. So, you know, just do the math. That's, you know, no later than his 20s. So, you know, I don't know that he wasn't a theater kid or whatever, but, you know, just because you're a theater kid doesn't mean that you studied theater and character arcs and, you know, sort of the esoteric or the eclectic, you know, aspects of it. So I don't know, but you know, we have talked about before whether it's she's got too much too soon or whether you know it's just not the right and I think the conclusion is it's a bit of all of it, but some of it is in fact Bubba's fault, though. Yeah, I'm just not sure that he's equipped to be different. Like I think he'd be like I'm not saying Booker isn't, but I think like Bubba would be a great coach for like Harlem Lewis. Yeah, I think they're both look in the eye, straight ahead, kill that, you know, blocking dummy in front of you. And blocking dummy was a football thing, not instead of cursing. Anyway, I don't know. I'm sure that we'll have lots more Bubba and Zena discussions as the season, because we're only halfway through, as Sean points out. The next buildup was into Harlem Lewis and Booker.
Our friend.
Right. Booker is not happy with it. Yeah. Booker's not happy with Harlem's body language, and he thinks he's too cocky. And we see signs of this here. I guess we saw signs of it before, but I didn't really see much of it different than some of the other guys. Some of the other guys, not all of them. But do you agree? Do you think that Harlem maybe thinks he's too cool for school?
Well, he thinks he's kind of, what's the word he used? Like, he thinks he knows everything. And Bubba says he needs to be more of a soldier. And Harlem feels like he doesn't progress as fast as he could with Booker's teaching. So, you know, we'll see a little bit more of that later when they actually have a talk together. But, I mean, this match, my God, where to start?
The beginning.
Well, the beginning, the first lockup. BJ
even before that, the entrances.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Come out. Harlem comes out with his intense thing, which can be heel or face. BJ comes out with his same thing, which could be heel or face. BJ, he's a face no matter what. He's like, they love me because I'm so entertaining. It's like, you don't entertain me, dude. I mean, I'm the TV audience. I've been watching for 50 years. Don't worry about what the 30 people who get free seats to LFG think.
I hate when somebody gets into wrestling just to be loved and get some social media like exposure or followers or that doesn't help anything in the fucking wrestling itself. I mean, yeah, I get some eyes on the product, but I mean, he's been training for what, 3 years now? If I count the first thing that I've watched, he's still like, the first lockup was shit. His footing was so sloppy. The second lockup was much better. But he can't even run the ropes. He puts his arm like weirdly. I don't even know how to explain that. Like,
he doesn't try even. If he is trying, it's worse. But he's well, I don't know which is worse. But he's like, it's like a joke to him, and he slow runs, and the coach is saying there's no impact with that. I mean, they're like, no, what is going on here?
Everything is too small. His tackles are shitty, and he keeps doing that shit like in my veins that's supposedly hot with the young people that I'm not young enough anymore to get. But then because of that, he runs completely backwards in the ropes, and I'm waiting for like a wallet where where his head's gonna go underneath the third rope, and it's like I'm waiting for it because you see him bounce, and it's like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Right, and if you fall over the rope, too slowly, I mean, there's something about a certain amount of speed so that your body can torque so that you can land close to your feet. If you're too slowly, you're going to fall on your head on the apron, and I don't know that he knows how to protect himself from that.
Does he care? Does he care?
Do I care? That's the thing is, like,
yeah, I mean, what
trying to tell
was
us on
the
TV.
story? Yeah, what was the story of this match? I mean, I'm guessing Harlem was the heel because he used the ropes and he was a lot more aggressive and he slowed down the pace. I mean, the little bit where he was in control, it looked good. But I mean, there was nothing exciting about this match. It's like, and you clearly see that, Harlem's not on the same page than Booker. It is what it is. Creeper Taker showed up. That was funny.
But listen, the backstory here was that Harlem knows better about match agenting than Booker does. But everything I saw that was going wrong seemed to be about BJ. I mean, Harlem, it's not like he did anything new, but what he does well. He looks aggressive. He looks physical. BJ was screwing everything up. I don't know that Harlem really had a chance. And Harlem had he was going to put BJ in a jackhammer, and the ending was clever. It got countered into a small package, and BJ won with the surprise win, which should be the baby face biting from underneath the speedster. Where BJ acts like such a tool that it was just like, what the hell just happened there? That's a bad idea, which maybe that was Harlem's idea. Maybe that is an example of a bad idea. But had BJ wrestled a proper match or even acted like he tried, maybe it would have been okay. So while the TV story is about Harlem, to me, it feels like the TV story should be about BJ. And why the hell is he still there?
I don't know. I don't know why not that I wish anybody to lose their job, but like I said before, a manager maybe, but he's not a wrestler. It's been 3 years and he still wrestles like this. Why the fuck did... There's a lot
to lose their job either, but there's only so many spots and it's already overfilled. I mean,
and there's a lot of good wrestlers on the independent that would do a way better job than this. After 3 years, my God, there's kids that I see like months in that are better than this. I don't get it. I don't know why you would lose. And they all seem to be like kind of annoyed by him. Then
JF.
Well, why do you give opportunities to people like that who you call assholes? Shawn Michael called him an asshole.
Yeah.
And he's no Shawn Michael when it comes to the ring.
No, he's not. His attitude is there.
Yeah.
Right now it's August. It is NFL preseason. Nobody wants the any of those 103, 113 people that show up to NFL training camp to lose their jobs, but 60 of them will. Or and then a bunch will be hired back, and some will be on the scouting team, and some will be semi-protected and not semi-protected. But when NFL training camp starts and has 100 and something people there, the starting roster is still going to be 53 people, man, lineup, and then like a 8 or 11 person scout practice squad, whatever it is now, and that means people lose their jobs on 32 teams or however many in the NFL, and some of them will get picked up from other people, thus costing other people. It's not because you want someone to lose their job. It's the nature of it. Dallas had a certain amount of characters. Every now and then you bring in a new character. Every now and then you exit. You get rid of a character, and sometimes it's permanent, sometimes it's temporary. It's just like, anyway, I feel like we have to, just because the world is so sort of weird in this way now that doesn't understand the marketplace, that we have to sort of explain why we shouldn't be canceled just for things that are that were common sense 5 minutes ago.
And here's the thing: this match was so easy to set up. After 3 years, you should be able to get it. You got a guy that's really intense, bigger, he looks like a machine. You got BJ, who's more funny, takes things not too seriously, whatever. It was easy. Get Harlem to beat the shit out of him. Have him sell, get sympathy from the people. Fight back, never give up. And then out of nowhere, he gets that 1, 2, 3 pin. Even if he got beat up the whole match. Oh my God, the big guy was so confident, whatever. He was so deep into his rage that he didn't see it coming. 1, 2, 3. it's an easy story. Goddamn. Like, I can't believe, like, you don't need to be like 25 years in to figure that out. Especially if you've been training, what, 5 days a week with professionals?
Agree.
Sorry, it's not for him. Fuck it.
Agree. I can't tell you how much I agree. I mean, I've never really understood why he's still here, except for that WWE insistence that like every Logan Paul character type is going to work. No, Logan Paul
is a phenomenon, and there's like, I wouldn't say 1 in a million, but there's not that many out there. So
yeah, I agree.
You know, he's a dick. He went to fucking Japan laughing at people who commit suicide,
Right.
being an asshole to get numbers on. It is what it is. But in the ring, he's doing the job. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he gives John Cena a great fucking match at the Clash in Paris. I wouldn't be surprised.
He absolutely will. I mean, if nothing else, he'll do like crazy things to make sure it appears that way. But I think he will. No, I mean, you know, they're in love with the Grayson Waller types, despite Grayson Waller getting no reaction outside of NXT. Everyone gets a reaction in NXT. I mean, I don't know when they're going to realize that. I mean, The Miz, better or worse, has sort of made it on being sort of just good enough all time, and then he was just good enough long enough that he sort of got this, like, you know, veteran status, and you know, he is the ultimate good soldier, and he's done the movies and he gets TV roles and whatever. So you know, he's sort of like the perfect, you know, insert here kind of thing, almost like Jericho, you know, used to be. You could put him anywhere. But I don't think that people necessarily like an asshole if they don't seem like they can do it. And I'm not saying 5-star bangers. I'm not saying everyone has to be Logan Paul, but you have to seem like you care about.
I was going to say, here's the thing with Miz. He cared.
Yeah.
He cared about what he was doing, and he wanted to do a good job. So it shows. Anyway, let's go to something that's more light and cute.
Marital discord, where Michelle insists that she's absolutely not losing to her husband.
I was talking about P. Nasty and her dad. I like that we saw a little bit of background, you know, where she comes from and where she gets that confidence.
I wanted him to see me succeed because of his sacrifices. I wanted my dad to see all the benefits and everything that I am reaping now because of what he laid out.
I feel happy for her because she actually came here to do a job. She's succeeding, and she's still surviving.
Now I'm paying it back and showing him, you know, your love and your discipline that you instilled in me is paying off. That's why I said this season is different. This is P. Nasty show now.
That's it. You're here to do a job, cut the bull.
Her dad, we know, like, these are things that are cool. Something to know about her. Why is she a wrestler? Why is she this way? Why? Her dad is a big part of why. So that was cool.
Is he in a wrestling family? Do you know him, like, from somewhere? Has he been, like, even an independent wrestler? I mean, I've heard that she's related to the Anoa'i or Fatus. I'm not.
They
sure.
didn't mention anything.
Yeah, I mean, he was wearing a cowboy hat, which, you know, I think is a bold statement if you're not a cowboy.
Maybe he's a cowboy somewhere.
He could be a cowboy. I don't know.
Maybe. We don't know. They don't
He could be
tell
born
us.
and bred in Texas, for all I know. I mean, you can't judge books by their cover, but
They don't tell us anything about who they are, where they come from, and why they're. It's like they've been picked and chosen, and that's it.
no, absolutely. You know, just judging a book by its cover is often a mistake. I'm not so like.
and then they go on to the
Samoan
next
with a cowboy
match.
hat before. I mean, but yeah, no, but he seemed like a cool guy, and he seemed like a no bullshit guy, and basically he had a line. He had a line that he gave her to choose: cut the bullshit, get the job done. So
Exactly. Another T-shirt.
yeah, that would be a great t-shirt. You're right.
So we are now, you know, with Panina and Bailey, and this time the coaches are watching. There's more people in the crowd.
They gave it main event status. It was at the NXT with the full NXT crowd and with the NXT. Yeah, this is with the mezzanine coaches. Do you think we got a double main event and they just didn't say it?
No, they didn't say it, but both were like in front of the crowd and with the coaches. And it's funny because I've noticed for the first time, I felt that P. Nasty looked nervous a little bit in the ring. And we finally saw Bailey do the Brock Lesnar dance a little bit. Should have been longer, I believe, but
Yeah, she did the Brock toes on the entrance, not just in the ring, which was what
good on her.
Undertaker wanted. But also, Mean Nasty came out a lot more animated. You know how she does that thing with her hands, her gesture, where it's like sort of like, you know, waving it up a little, but it's usually so slow and lethargic. Not this time. This time was fast and aggressive, which is it makes so much of a difference. But her coming in with the facials and all that, I mean. She came in, I was sure that she was the heel, or at least an angry face. Again, I couldn't tell who was the face or the heel, but I don't, like in this match, I don't care. Like, it's like, if it's Big John Studd against King Kong.
Andre the Giant, it's like, it's two big, like, attractions, like, so, and here's the thing, you have to sell that. They started too fast. They went, like, into a lockup, a great one, right away. But when you have two monsters like this, you take your time. You do a face off to see how big and how tall they are, looking at each other, and then you start. So that was missing. They needed to go like a little bit of face to face to show what was like standing right in front of us, that we had something special. But the lockup was great. I like the push and the way they were kind of testing each other. It made sense. Like, you're big, I'm big, you're strong, I'm strong. Let's see how much like I can like push you around, whatever. It made sense. Like, it told a story. Like, this is a behemoth kind of fight. So right away from the start, we knew kind of what was the story. You know, the two slams pick up. Here's one thing with slams that I've noticed that they don't do, and here's a tip for all the wrestlers out there. When somebody slams you, you'll push with your hand on one leg, but once you twist and go up, switch your hand on the other leg, keep your full body straight, and lift your face up. The slam is going to look so much better. Your bump, it's going to be smoother. And that way you can show your expression to everybody instead of looking down. Switch your hand from the leg you push to the other one. I'm telling you, it's gonna look marvelous. Just a little tip for all the wrestlers listening. This will change the way you get slammed, and it's gonna look so great. And by holding yourself this way, pushing on the legs and keeping your full body straight, it's easier for your opponent to walk around with you, show your expression, you screaming that you don't want to be, slammed down to the mat. You can go around the ring this way. It's so much easier to carry the weight.
Wrestlers, join the Wrestling Soup Patreon. Tell them LuFisto sent you. Hashtag LuFisto's free wisdom.
Hashtag free wisdom. Exactly.
LuFisto's free wisdom.
Yeah, I should give classes on the Patreon or something.
Yes, you should, and you should put your name in it. You got a brand. Don't make anyone think that I'm the one giving any sort of wisdom into how to wrestle. I mean,
you need a lawyer though, because you were stupid. Jeff's your man.
Absolutely. If you want to learn how to wrestle the wrong way, I will teach you the wrestler like character work and like story continuity. I can probably do that and evaluate things. But as far as teaching you how to move, no. I can't even catch my turtle. I mean, it's fantastic. Anyway, I have a couple criticisms in this match. Mean Nasty, for all the things she's good at, her turnbuckle punches when she's up there, you could see how she moved her hand away. That looked terrible. It actually looked like my turtle, who doesn't really have hands, has sort of like thin hands with monster claws on them. Sort of looks when she wants to push something away. It was
and all her punches, I would say, like even the ones she was doing in the ring, I felt they need more. They need work. And she went for European, and it needs to be more vicious. It didn't look bad. But yeah, too slow. You need to go fast on a move like that. So
it needed a little bit more oomph. I would also say that Bayley's win, while I enjoy the way it was booked, it sort of came out of nowhere. There probably should have been something else in between or something after the power bomb. Maybe their time was up. I don't know. I will say this match was a lot of fun, and we're grading on LFG, basically greenhorn scale. But even if it wasn't, I still would have thought this was a fun match. And it was, I typed, it's pretty close to exactly what it should have been.
Again, lazy whips, they pull the hand instead of going chest to chest, especially two big women like that. Don't pull and have the other person just run by themselves. It looks stupid.
Yeah.
Put that pressure, push, and, no lazy whips, please. When your opponent's near the ropes, pull them before you go for a pin. She was in the ropes at one point. Even the judges, mentioned it, and I think the commentators. For a falsie where 1, 2, whoops, foot on the rope, yeah, but for, whatever pin, pull, or as a wrestler, when you take a bomb, try to roll away from the ropes before. That way, at least you're not close to the ropes. If your opponent wants to attempt a pin, it helps greatly, and it's less effort from your opponent to just pull you. Especially if you're a bigger person, like take a bump, roll near the middle. That way, that problem's not gonna happen. I love the impressive someone drop. That looked good from Penina. That was really great.
And sort of the short spear, that was strangely effective. They both did great with that. What I would have liked to have seen with the end is after the power slam that Bailey would realize that's not enough, but she can't do her finisher on P. Nasty. She's too big, so she doesn't try. So she would pick her up, by the arm or hair or whatever she has to do, because they're both heels basically in this match, and deliver not one, but 2 clotheslines from hell, basically 2 Southern lariats, and pick her up twice and then finish it off. It would have taken 30 more seconds.
I love the power bomb. It looked good because Penina's facials were great for that power bomb.
I've ever seen.
But yeah, I feel like before maybe it would have been a good idea as the Bailey that try her finish. She can't do it on Penina. She needs to find another way. Try to fight back a little bit and something where. Penina goes to the corner. She wants to do something because she doesn't know what to do anymore, to put down Bailey. And then something stupid has run to the ropes. So Penina kind of crouches herself on the turnbuckle in the corner. And then you pick her up into a power bomb or a little something, maybe a little back and forth at the end after Bailey notices she can't pick her up for her finish. It would have been like a little bit more, a better story of them being kind of equal until the end.
I will give extra credit, though, for Bailey putting her foot under the ropes when she was, sort of smart. You don't expect smart veteran moves from a rookie and B, a powerhouse. So I thought that was clever, and they've done that a couple times. And, I like that. That's obviously Undertaker, pointing to his head like that. Jeff's smart. So I did like that. I also liked how Penina, after that happened, instead of being frustrated forever, she went straight to the Samoan drop, another potential finisher. So I like that neither of them came off as stupid, which I like. I don't like when wrestlers come off as stupid. So
it was a good short little match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next match and the last match, which they called the main event, I guess I'm going to call it a double main event because they both got the primetime TV treatment, is Shiloh. And they let us know that Shiloh has a minor injury, which turned out just to be a black eye that he got doing, the Grapefruit League. Maybe the show Tatiana was on. I have no idea. Probably not.
Black eye and a missing tooth.
Yeah. That tooth he should never get replaced. I mean, it's too good. But we got two of the front runners, as Shiloh, Hill, and Anthony Luke, as it should be. Luke lets us know a promo. He, instead of really cutting a promo, but it's still sort of a promo. And I thought this was either natural or smart, but he wants to help Michelle have those family bragging rights in the house. If Luke helps, if Michelle doesn't win, he's going to have to answer for it, and he doesn't want that. So that was sort of a nice different side of Anthony Luke that he's doing it for the coach, because everything is like, I'm the best. Everyone knows I'm the best. This is my show. I'm the great. I mean, it's almost the way Bubba talks about Zena that Anthony talks about himself.
But yeah, this time he was putting her, his coach over. And I love that Michelle, every time, like she did it for Penina too, she does the poses. She's sitting there, she does the poses, kind of in support of her team. So I love that from her.
I really have to say this, that listen, I miss Mickey James. I still prefer Mickey James, but you do see Michelle's affect is deadpan, but that's not the same as having a dead head and not a personality. She has a personality, and she shows it. And she shows it. She mimics the gestures. She clearly loves wrestling.
She's definitely growing on me. I see the little things, and she cares and like, yeah, I think she's funny too.
Yeah,
So.
I hate to ruin my own gimmick, but I'm not sure she's there just because she's Undertaker's wife. I mean, you know,
I don't think she would like to be there just for that too. I think I've heard her in an episode. She's like, because people call her Undertaker wife. She's like, I have a name.
Yeah.
It's like,
I will say this, that the last couple of days I've seen her on social media basically addressing these kinds of things. And Michelle McCool, I doubt that you're listening to me or this show, but maybe you're because of LuFisto, maybe because we're the only podcast that covers LFG and you all should be listening. But Michelle, don't do it. There's no profit in it. All you're going to do is end up like Dax from FTR. I mean, you know, don't just, there's no winning in it. You're listening to such a small percentage of people. Most people, even if they feel like me and they're wishy-washy, they wouldn't come at you like that. Nobody, you know, even on social media, they would just ignore it. Don't do it, or stick to whatever corporate training they gave you.
If there's something I've learned, especially about X, that block button is wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can see is the producers of LFG said, hey, all of you get on social media, cause some controversy, get buzz on the show. If it's that, carry on. But if it's anything else, just stop. Just don't do it. You follow me. I'll follow you back. I'll be cool, or like at least neutral. You know, I'll probably obnoxiously ask you to be on this show or my show or whatever. But just don't do it.
Hey,
there's no win.
Well, then fry them, put them in a stew, loves Michelle.
Exactly. You know what? You could co-host with LuFisto and I'll take the week off. I mean, talk about the numbers going sky high. I'm not taking the week off. I'm definitely going to be there. All right.
By the way, Shiloh, when he did an entrance and he started shaking, my God, this guy, he's a lost baby of Bray Wyatt.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. I just see Bray Wyatt. I want him to wear those shirts, those kind of Hawaiian shirts. I was like, they have to do something with this,
or at least
illegitimate son or something. My God, it's like it's him.
It
like,
is the face.
Oh.
Except he's too thin. That's the only difference. So like maybe it's like Bo, and I don't know if Bo's married or what his spouse looks like. But
maybe the mother was thinner. So
yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. I don't know much about the genetics of Bray's. All of it. I mean, I know what JoJo looks like, but I don't know who the first wife was, or I've long for. Anyway, unimportant. This again, I didn't know who face was or heel was coming in. They both basically have a very similar entrance, which could be either, but Anthony Luke attacks from behind before the bell, so we know he's the heel. I'm going to let you do the whole match, but I just want to say this was an aggressive match, and these two guys, and they should, because they've been on season 1 and season 2 and basically been neck and neck the whole time, but they have great chemistry together. Mm-hmm. These guys can work together for 10 years and then revisit again 7 years later, like how people talk about, they want to see Cena and Edge one more time, or Cena and Orton one more time. I don't want to see those things, but people do. I think, it's way early for that, but potentially in 20 years, that could be these two guys.
Yeah, I mean, Luke for me was, as soon as I saw him coming out and jaw-jacking and talking to the people in the crowd, I was like, yep, that's the heel. And obviously with the hot start, that confirmed it. Luke has great punches. He kept arguing with the refs. I was like, he kept everything alive between the moves. Shiloh did have a great, shine. I believe he works a little bit too fast, because at one point Luke was kind of selling away and he tried to punch him and kind of missed, because Luke was selling to the next spot where he was going in the middle of the ropes to get whipped. And Shiloh was going so fast that, yeah, you could, if you go back on the episode, you could clearly, he kind of swings, but Luke's already, like, he didn't wait for his opponent to be in a place, a stable place where he was not moving, or put his hand on the chest just to kind of tell him, stay there in the corner. I'm just going to punch you a little bit, kind of tell him without actual words, just with, body language and using his hand that do not move right away. But it was kind of, you could see the kind of punch that looked like crap. I like that Luke was working the camera the whole time. Every time he was in a move, he was turning towards the camera. It is so important when you're doing TV to do that. And Luke already has it. He has great selling on his bumps, meaning he takes a bumps and gets up. You should never stay down on the mat. You get up a little bit, because why would you want to stay down? You don't want to get pinned. So you take a bump and you slightly get up a little bit. He put his hand where it hurts, like his lower back or whatever. Fire comeback from Shiloh. I like that, Luke blocked and he put his fingers in his eyes. And I mean, when he was going for let me rephrase that. So Shiloh did a fire comeback and then he went for his kind of finish where he grabs Luke on the side. And then Luke blocked with his leg and it was clear he was blocking. And I like that we could see exactly what he was doing, put his finger in his eyes, and then went to the finish. Here's the thing, though. Shiloh, again, the problem, he needs more sound. When he's selling, I can't hear his pain. When he's beating people up, I can't hear his rage. He needs that. That's probably the only thing that's missing, because everything else, like, he's getting pretty good. Like, when Taker says he's his best in his team, between him and Drake, I think he's right. And that's the thing that he's missing, sound. I left at the end because as much as Luke doesn't want to be the Rock, he kind of used like a modified rock bottom. Booker T goes like, no, that was a bookend. So I thought that was...
I just called it a side slam just to be...
I thought that was funny. No, that's a bookend. And I like when Shiloh went for the pin. I mean, not Shiloh, but when Luke went for the pin, put his leg...
LuFisto is there.
Yeah, and one of my cats says hello, everybody. Yeah, leg in between to hold down the opponent even more. Look great. Yeah, that was a great match. Like if it was on NXT TV, no problem with it.
Yeah,
both guys look great. Yeah,
I have so little to add to this, so I'm just gonna say something good, something bad. It was the same thing. I thought it was very clever for the heel to even consider using the eye injury as a way to get a win, because they're basically evenly matched. Because you knew you were going to do that, it looked really bad with his big red gloves. And I think for this one, either have different gloves or no gloves, and it would have looked a lot better. I think he realized that, and even on the replay, it looked worse. When they said he used the thumb to the eye, and then they showed you couldn't even see the thumb wasn't anywhere near there. So he stuck his fingers, and it just looked like he was doing like a claw without any Baron von Raschke or Von Erich, or these days Baron von Tim Storm, grip or purchase on that. Aside from that, live and learn. But if you're going to do that, the gloves are less important than the move itself. And there's lots of different kinds of gloves out there that allow your fingers to have more dexterity. All right. Moving on to the points. We start with the women. Michelle McCool, Bubba, and Undertaker all give P. Nasty the point. Booker gives Sirena the point. I guess she's on his team.
Yeah, she is.
But this is the week that I thought, listen, I've never thought that P didn't deserve it. It's just, I just wasn't clear why she was always winning so consistently. But this week, I thought P. Nasty was the winner for sure. Obviously, you agree. There wasn't much conversation there. It was 4 for 4 for Shiloh on the men's side. Again, I thought Shiloh did great, but I mean, nothing for Anthony Luke.
I was going to say Anthony Luke carried that match as a heel, and I was like, I didn't get it. Shiloh don't get me wrong, did a great job, but as a heel, Anthony Luke was complete. Jaw-jacking with the crowd, selling, cheating, hot start, slowing down the pace, arguing with the referees. He had it all. I don't know why they did not pick Anthony Luke. It made no sense to me.
I mean, even his coach didn't pick. I mean,
even his coach.
Not that you should do favoritism, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it was just the glove spot, and then maybe they didn't mention it though. I don't know. But you and I agree that Anthony Luke should have at least gotten, I mean, if not one, gotten at least 2 votes and had one come out and do it or something. That would have been interesting drama. And it could have been interesting drama even if his coach voted for Shiloh. And first of all, to undercut, Bubba's conspiracy and maybe Booker's secret belief of a conspiracy. but also to add a little drama. It's like, Coach, it was so close. You didn't even have my back. Come on. I mean, this is a bit scripted. So anyway, we go into the halfway point of the season with Michelle McCool being in the lead with 5 points. Undertaker right behind his wife with 4, as it should be, right behind his wife. Booker with 3, and Bubba, with 2, despite his team being handicapped. I don't feel bad for him. We confirmed again, no word on Tatiana. Anthony Luke did a really fiery promo at the end, which I thought was basically, it's my show. Everyone knows that I'm the show. And you know what? That was the right time for this promo. As much as I think that he sings his own praises too much, and I'm not sure if it's character or he believes it, this was the right time either way. P. Nasty delivers a good exit promo. She had a great showing. And then we see the maybe baked drama, maybe not half baked drama. I'm going to let you pick that up. Yes, nobody tells drama like the veteran.
Well, here's what I saw. I saw a guy that knows his weakness and knows, how his temper can switch. And I actually, to me, Harlem won some points with this episode, because although he feels like he's being held back and makes him angry, he also knows that he gets angry for stupid things out of nowhere sometimes. So he knows himself. He knows his weaknesses. And he was man enough to grab Booker and talk to him one-on-one. And, Booker explaining him, you have to trust me. I'm not doing this to keep you down. I've been there. There's, I'll get you where you need to be.
Yeah, you're me.
And Harlem was man enough to say, you're right. Thank you for listening to me. I had some concerns. I wanted to make sure I expressed them so we're on the same page. And I thought it was very professional of him. Very manly. Like, goddamn, if you have a problem, just speak.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be that bad, and you'll be able to find a way to fix things or work things better. And it
was mature, and it was also
mature.
very somebody who's used to competitive sports where there's confrontation or your tension between you and your coaches, or you and your quarterback, or you and the captain of the team, or whatever. And he won points with me too, because he's like, I've had anger problems before. I've had issues with anger management, and I know that if I just address it earlier, it's not going to escalate. And
exactly.
So I agree with you. He said it was sort of a private conversation. I am sure that they edited out 80% of that conversation. And I'm fine with it. Would I have liked to have heard more? Yes, I absolutely would have. But basically, Booker, like he said, I'm not trying to keep you down. You're trying to do X, Y, Z, and I'm telling you don't need to. You just need to do A.
Yeah, I love that quote. You're trying to do X, Y, Z, and I'm telling you to do A, B, C. It was like, I love this part for some reason. And I'm like it made me a little bit understand Booker's way of teaching. Like, he might take another route to bring you wherever, but he's going to take you there. So I felt it was like a nice way for a coach to, express how he works. And I love that Booker was like, he listened to what, Harlem had to say. And he did not go like, I'm the coach, you tell me that's not how it works. And get all riled up and, huffing and puffing. And he was quiet. He was calm, and he was just listening, trying to understand where Harlem was coming from. So, I really, both of them, kudos, loved it. Very, very mature, professional. Yeah, loved it.
And, Booker reminded us earlier on, actually, it's not true. He was during NXT when he was talking about Masha Slamovich as the referee. And he said, I have a wrestling school. I don't know what the 17 steps of a referee or the 18 steps of a referee is, but I have a school. We teach people, I've been told. But this was very much reminded me that he has a school and he knows how to talk to students and people, which gives me a little bit more pause about Zilla Fatu if he was having issues with Booker T and they couldn't be worked out. Because it seems like, Booker T is street, did time, came out of WCCW or, probably somewhere else first. then to WCW, then to WWF, then to WWE, and is still featured prominently in all sorts of, like, and he's navigated everything, but he's
got experience in so many different like aspects of wrestling and life in general. And people often forget, like, how many people got out of WCW bigger than they were? Not too many.
Very few.
Booker T is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And still around. I mean, Goldberg will tell you that, but Goldberg was always resting on the WCW laurels, and that's not a criticism. I'm not saying he's resting on. That's good where he got it. Yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. That was his biggest thing. I mean, the Stone Cold versus Goldberg, believe it or not, was a dream match in 1997, 1998, 99.
How many people stayed home with their big WCW contract waiting for it to expire and getting paid, while Booker says, like, no, I'm a wrestler, I want to work, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he took a pay cut and just went and, hey, became King Booker, one of my favorite freaking things from that era. King Booker!
To my knowledge, you are correct. I mean, I don't pretend to know all the ins and outs, but yeah, to my knowledge. And Booker's basically said to him, listen, and he basically repeated in his, I'm just going to call them confessionals because that's what they call them on the Real Housewives franchise, when you just the woman and the talking to the camera person one-on-one, or the interviewer. They said,
this is a private conversation, and it's just something that I needed to get to clear my head because I was very frustrated, and I've had a really bad history of like anger issues, and I've noticed that if I don't stand on it and speak about it immediately, I'm going to just crash out. So I had to pull him aside and just kind of talk to him and understand more what he's saying and understand exactly what he's looking for from me.
If you follow instruction from me, you're gonna kill it every time, all right? Because you're thinking that you need to do X, Y, Z, but you really don't, okay? Yeah. Harlem wanted to have a little one-on-one session with me. Now tell me about Harlem. It tells me he wants it really, really bad. Reminds me of me in a lot of ways. I always want to be the guy at the front of the class. Trust me, doing it my way, your eyes is gonna open and you're gonna go, oh, I need you to listen. And the ultimate question, do you trust me? You can win this thing. I know you can. Just trust me. Trust me to guide you.
I appreciate you.
He needs to listen more. And the question at the end is, do you trust me? So will that continue or not? I don't know. But the teaser for next week was that BJ Ray probably is the one who gets a little dirty or not serious, which is really, you can hide jokiness between getting jerky. And a fight with Trill London, who seems pretty chill up to this, but he was an NFL defensive back. So, don't confuse his kindness for weakness.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, BJ, I get you. You were a college wrestler and all, but still. Anyway, they're showing, not just in the ring, but outside of the ring, teasing that. But in the past, we've seen that, and it sort of led to sort of a bit of a disappointment. But that's our tease, so I am very much looking forward to that. Probably for all the wrong reasons. Am I a bad person? Maybe. I don't know. But that's what I will.
Say it.
I want to see
BJ to be kicked out, so Bubba's left with the two girls.
I just want to see the conflict. I just want to see the fight. I just want to see. I would
entertain.
They don't kick anyone out, but people don't win, and I'm very much on the record that I do not want what's his face BJ Ray to win, mostly because he shouldn't. I mean, if he had the same asshole personality, but cut weight, and I know he can cut weight because he's been posting pictures of himself with abs and being cut, so I know he knows how to do it. He was a wrestler, he knows how to do it, and doing wrestling moves and acting like he cared instead of just taking it all for granted like it's one big joke. I mean, he looks like he's sort of like a wrestling. It's like at times he wrestles like Orange Cassidy, but that was Orange Cassidy's gimmick. And the whole thing about Orange Cassidy, I don't really appreciate, but they're like, but he can go. And yeah, he can go. He's still 100.
I was going to say you love or you hate. So
yeah, I mean, listen, in short dosages, I love, I just don't, I just don't like it as a featured act, but that's not important because he can go. His gimmick was he doesn't care, but when he had to, he went. This guy, it seems like when he has to, he gets even worse.
Oh, we'll see.
All right. Well, that's probably enough.
I just hope we get other contestants too. We haven't seen Dani for a while. We haven't seen Ace for a while. We talked about them a little bit. And, you know, it's like, show us the other people. Where's Tatiana? Why? What happened to
Well, I see our
Elijah?
coach is giving us coaching tips. Oh, ye of little faith, Mr. Missionary. Well, of course we did. I can't call him Mr. Thomas because that confuses it with the other Mr. Thomas, who's my other co-host. I mean, it's all life. These are the things that I'm old, you know. Anyway.
Before you're too old, where can we find you online?
Where can't you find me? So if you want to find me on the X for wrestling, at @dose_evil, that's probably enough. On the Wrestling Soup Network, you can find me right here on the LFG show, as you know, because you're listening to it. But maybe you don't know that there's a Wrestling Soup in Friendo's feed, which is a separate feed where we do Dose of Chocolate, which is the only Evolve wrestling podcast that I know about, just like this is the only LFG wrestling podcast that I know about. Sometimes I have a co-host, sometimes I don't. So last week was a solo show. Maybe this week will be, maybe it won't. Garden of Thought is my podcast, also on the Wrestling Soup Network. I'm going to say it's sort of like the variety of Joe Rogan, you know, but obviously I'm not Joe Rogan. I don't get the celebrity guests, but I get like sort of half a rung to a rung under, like the guests who were in the circles of those celebrity guests. But similar variety, obviously not the utter broness and obviously not the success, but you can all help me with that. And then Gospel of Thomas with Mr. Thomas from MLW Wrestling, where we talk to people in wrestling, but often about non-wrestling things. And this very night, my guest co-host is Akira Kwan, who has a legitimate gripe that right now he's listed as not the MLW middleweight championship. He has it in his possession. He should beat up vacant. But Akira Kwan from Contra, Hail Contra, and our guest is former Rogue Horseman, now free agent, doing TNA, doing NWA, I think Ring of Honor, BRG. So yeah, Brett Ryan Goslin, we're going to talk to him tonight. And who knows what else this wacky month when Thomas is off living his best life has to do with. I'm done now.
You can find me on X at LuFisto. I'm on Instagram at LuFisto for Wrestling and Arts, Facebook.com/LuFisto, and also follow the Women's Wrestling Syndicate. Subscribe to our YouTube page. I just posted an old match from 2012 from cheerleader Melissa versus Haley Atrid. You want to watch that and subscribe for more of our shows that we post, like completely, like all the matches, plus old stuff that I've been part of in the past years. Got matches with old stuff like with Jordan Grace, Kimberly, Jessica Havoc, all kinds of stuff. So it's not just Women's Wrestling Syndicate, it's everything I did in wrestling, and there's a lot. There's 28 years of stuff I try to put out there. I also have my YouTube page, The Official LuFisto, and you can find me on all those platforms, and you can send me messages. I try to answer as much as I can. And also, please follow our friends at the Wrestling Soup, subscribe to the Patreon, give them some good money. You can listen to them every Thursday night, and there's also Frank and Gus on the Fridays. Just look the Wrestling Soup everywhere, like on X for their schedule. They're always talking. Talk to us on Discord. It's great. We chat about.
Doesn't sound so good.
We always chat with you guys, so always fun. So join the Wrestling Soup Network and us, the Wrestling Stew. Boil them, fry them, put them in a stew. You join us next week for episode 9 of WWE LFG Review.
Stay home, my friends.
Follow Wrestling Soup on Twitter at Wrestling Soup. Like and subscribe to Wrestling Soup on YouTube, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify. With Smilsa.